Imagine a man seen alongside figures like Donald Trump, Bill Clinton, Prince Andrew, and countless billionaires, politicians, and other celebrities. But behind this wealthy and influential facade lay one of the darkest criminal cases in modern history. More than 200 teenage girls have been identified or are known to authorities in the Jeffrey Epstein case, and many believe the actual number may be much higher. Some were only 14 years old. They entered what they believed were safe places after being promised a few $100s, a simple job, or a better future. Instead, many later said they found themselves in situations they never expected. Many believed they were simply accepting a small job to earn some money. But behind the doors of Epstein's luxurious properties, those promises often turned into manipulation, intimidation, and exploitation. Numerous victims later testified that they felt trapped. They believed no one would believe their stories, and they felt powerless against a man whose wealth, influence, and connections appeared limitless. This is not only the story of one convicted offender, it is also the story of a network that remained hidden behind wealth and influence for years. Prosecutors allege that Epstein built an organized system to recruit underage girls, allowing the operation to continue for years before it was fully exposed. Jeffrey Edward Epstein was born in 1953 in Brooklyn, New York. Unlike many well-known billionaires, he came from a middle-class family and did not inherit great wealth. He briefly worked as a mathematics teacher at the prestigious Dalton School. Years later, reports surfaced alleging inappropriate conduct during that period, although no criminal charges were filed. After leaving teaching, he entered the world of finance and quickly accumulated significant wealth and influence. Over the following years, Epstein purchased luxury homes in New York, Palm Beach, New Mexico, and Paris, as well as a private island known as Little St. James. The island would later become widely associated with one of the largest criminal investigations, involving the exploitation of minors in the United States. In 2005, a complaint from the mother of a 14-year-old girl prompted police to begin an investigation. What first appeared to be a single allegation gradually revealed a much larger pattern. Investigators found that numerous teenagers had been approached with promises of money, modeling opportunities, or easy work, before later reporting that they had been exploited. Several victims said they returned multiple times because of financial hardship, fear, or pressure. As the investigation expanded, prosecutors concluded that these incidents were not isolated. They alleged that an organized recruitment network existed in which some victims were encouraged or pressured to bring in other girls in exchange for money. According to investigators, this caused the number of victims to grow over the years. One name that repeatedly appeared during the investigation was Ghislaine Maxwell. According to court findings, she played a major role in recruiting and introducing victims to Epstein. Promises of employment, a luxurious lifestyle, and modeling opportunities were allegedly used to gain the trust of young girls. Despite the growing body of evidence, in 2008, Epstein reached a highly controversial plea agreement. He pleaded guilty to reduced charges and served a relatively short prison sentence under unusually favorable conditions. The agreement was widely criticized by victims, legal experts, and the public, and it remains one of the most controversial plea deals in modern American legal history. But the case did not close. Investigative reports by the Miami Herald brought renewed public attention to the case, and in 2019, Epstein was again arrested on charges of sex trafficking of minors. Just a few weeks later, he died in his jail cell. The official cause of death was ruled a suicide, but faulty surveillance cameras, guard negligence, and numerous ambiguities have kept the case a subject of debate and various theories to this day. The Epstein case was not just about one man. It was about the question of how wealth, power, and connections could delay justice for years. While Epstein is no longer alive, the voices of his victims, the conviction of Ghislaine Maxwell, and ongoing investigations into individuals linked to the case show that this story is not yet over. This case represents one of the darkest examples of abuse of power in modern history, a bitter reminder that silence, influence, and money can obscure the truth for years, but ultimately, the voices of the victims find a way to be heard. The Epstein case is not just the story of a wealthy man's downfall. It is a warning about how money, power, and connections can postpone justice for years. Nevertheless, The voices of the victims who had remained silent for years were finally heard. And that very voice brought down one of the most powerful men of his time. And perhaps the most terrifying part of this story is that we still don't have all the answers. The Jeffrey Epstein case may be closed, but its secrets are still very much alive.